What's going on? Welcome to Primetime Talk TV. And look, before we even jump on into this one, man, look, I gotta tell you, please, get ready. You know, it's more to come. Just went live over there with Before Champs, Mill City Boxing, Zab Judah, you know. Hey, big things. So, anyway, with that being said, um, what we all here for, and that's the breaking news of the fight between Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. Supposed to hear some applause right now. Ah, yeah, for real. Because look, that is a big fight, y'all. For real. And for Keyshawn Davis to and the date is already set. Look, you ain't just coming here for nothing. The date and the place is already set. It's serious. It gets no more serious than that, my friends. So listen, come on in and listen. Keyshawn Davis has sent the contract to Edwin. Edwin said no brainer, signed it. So I know y'all want to know, but before I give you the date, I just got to say one more thing. How excited are you about this fight? Because I'm excited. Excited. The same Edwin De Los Santos that fought Shakur Stevenson. That same guy. Yeah. Yeah. From Puerto Rico. Yeah. Yeah. So that's going to be a serious fight and a serious matchup. And for Keyshawn Davis to make that his first title defense, man. So with that being said, I will say this much. The fight will be held, guess where? It's going to be held right back in Keyshawn Davis' home again. Hometown, Virginia. Yeah, he going right back. Yeah. It was so good the first time, he said he got to do it twice. So he's going to defend his title right back there in Virginia one more again. So that's going to be very, very huge. And with the date already being set and things already getting put in place, I'm going to tell you this. Go ahead and break this for you. June 7th. And, all the news was broken in Mill City Boxing. For the people that want to know where, the news come from, it was right in Mill City Boxing. So, they was the ones to break the news first. So when people were around here saying, where you get the information from and this, that, and the third, well, you gotta give the people that broke the news first the true acknowledgement. And a lot of people don't do that. But, over here, like I said, Mill City Boxing, they the first ones to break it right there live with Edwin De Los Santos on the show. So it gets no, realer than that. Edwin, he even talked about it himself. So, hey, it is what it is. So Anyway, Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos is very, very huge and big show for Keyshawn Davis to take on his first title defense. Most fighters don't even choose fights like that. And for him to choose Edwin De Los Santos, someone that gave Shakur Stevenson a serious fight, a serious fight. If you're a boxing fan, you saw the fight between Edwin De Los Santos versus Shakur Stevenson. Edwin gave Shakur Stevenson a run for his money. And now you're talking about Keyshawn Davis defending the same guy for his first title defense. Wow. Huge, huge fight. Big opportunity for Edwin De Los Santos to really show what he's made of, his skill, his range, and his IQ, or either it's Keyshawn Davis' shot and chance and time to show his IQ and his ring ability and his growth and progression, because we've seen him in every single fight thus far. Keyshawn Davis has been getting better and better and better. But hey, you gotta say this much. Edwin De Los Santos will be probably his biggest test yet. How he performed against Edwin will give us a telltale sign of it all. You know, the totality of how far he's progressed and how far he's came. Or either it'll show us that still got things to work on. So, you know, um, with 13 wins, 9 knockouts, you know, I think, you know, we just got to look for even more progression and greatness out of him. I think he's actually unlocked something in that ring to where he's able to pick fighters apart a lot better than his opponent. So we'll see if he does the same thing with Edwin De Los Santos. Or will Edwin De Los Santos derail the whole thing? That's how we do it here at Primetime Talk TV. It's always two sides to a coin, baby. It's always two sides to a coin, however you flip it. But we ain't got to get specific. So anyway, what we're going to do is I want to know from all of the viewers, all of the people that's watching, you know, trying to get little tidbits from my style and my channel, or you just here to be entertained and you here to get the real deal boxing and, you know, straight up, no cut, no chaser. But getting back to the fight now, Keyshawn Davis defending his title against Edwin De Los Santos is huge, real huge. A lot of people are saying, in the Twitter streets and all this and that, that Keyshawn and Shakur are fighting, trying to get that Gervonta Tank Davis fight. And that maybe, just maybe, Keyshawn Davis is gonna show the world that he can beat Edwin De Los Santos better than Shakur Stevenson. What's going on, light skin business? But you know, so it's some serious work out here, for real, to see Keyshawn go up against Edwin De Los Santos. That's serious business. And he taking them to the crib, Virginia, June 7th. Lock it in, you know? Yeah, real talk. So, you know, we're gonna see what it is. When these two get in the ring and square it off. But from Edwin De Los Santos' mouth itself, he said the deal is done. It's going down in Virginia. It's going down June 7th. So, hey, it's going to be a serious fight. Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. Oh, my God. That's a huge fight. I don't care what nobody say. For real. You really got to look at the two fighters and the two styles. And the way Edwin De Los Santos fought Shakur Stevenson, Edwin, he can give some problems to any fighter. But can he do that with Keyshawn Davis? Will he be able to contain Keyshawn Davis's style? He has a different ring paralysis about him, and it's like he throws a few shots here and there, but then he just goes in for the sleeper. And then you have Edwin De Los Santos that has more of an elusive style, good footwork, but do he have enough power to keep Keyshawn Davis honest in that ring, to gain his respect so that he don't just lunge in with nothing? That's going to be the trick. That first round is going to tell you everything. The first round of every fight always tells you, hey, this may be the tone of the fight, you know? Whoever comes out more aggressive, who comes out and may score a little good shot or may knock them off balance. All those little things are telltale signs. So until they get in the ring, we really won't, see how everything go. But you look at the track record of the fighters, and that right there alone gives you the detective type mentality style to see what type of fighter is going against this type of fighter. And Keyshawn Davis, he's a whole different animal because he goes in for the kill once he knows he has his fighter injured, hurt, or maimed. And then you have Edwin De Los Santos. He's more calm, collective. He's more meticulous about his approach in fighting. And he's elusive, but at the same time, he's a counterpuncher. So, in my experience, it makes for a very, very rough night for Edwin De Los Santos unless he's able to establish a jab early. Now, if Edwin De Los Santos can establish a jab and be able to keep Keyshawn Davis honest, he won't be able to stop that storm that Keyshawn Davis is going to, unleash on him. And that's the problem of any fighter that goes in the ring against Keyshawn Davis is that he picks his fighter apart. He starts little fires here and there, and then he pauses to see what worked almost. And then he starts back in, but the whole time he's working a jab, he's working different levels, the up and down to the body. So those things make Keyshawn Davis a real, real serious threat when going up against him in that ring. But like I said, Edwin De Los Santos is a much better counterpuncher, I would say, in the two matchup. So you're going to look for Edwin De Los Santos to really be more patient and wait for a Keyshawn Davis. But that can play into a bad situation if Edwin De Los Santos wants to try and pause and wait for Keyshawn Davis, because once Keyshawn Davis gets started and he catches you with something, it might be night-night real early for him. But establishing a range, jab, using his counterpunching, his defense, and his footwork, Edwin De Los Santos could probably take this into the late rounds, maybe even the 12th round to go to the scorecard. I would probably still see a Keyshawn Davis winning unanimous. Reason being is just because of his aggression. I don't think anybody can really hit Keyshawn Davis with anything that can make him actually stop fighting. So, with just those analysis on my own part, I see it maybe going to the ninth, maybe the 10th round at the most, with those two, with Keyshawn Davis. It could go early, but I give Edwin De Los Santos a grade. Um, I would say a B plus, far as defensive style. And I think with that alone and his IQ, he'll be able to go into the later rounds with this fight. He won't be no early win. Now, hey, I could be wrong. I could be wrong. But just looking at the two styles, I'm looking at both fighters to be more patient in this fight because Edwin De Los Santos already know who he's going up in the ring against, first of all. And I don't think he takes Keyshawn Davis lightly, as he's already fought his big brother Shakur Stevenson. So, it's a real good fight. I look forward to it, real talk. Just as a boxing fan, look forward to it. And I appreciate being on Mill City Boxing to be able to, actually be there when that story was being broken. So that was a good moment in, my career of boxing as well. So, just to see these fights materialize and to be a part of where these fights are going down and getting made, or the news about the fights are being broken. I'm privileged to be a part of boxing, and salute to Mills, salute to Zab Judah and their whole teams over there for doing what they doing. And so now back to Keyshawn Davis putting up his belt against Edwin De Los Santos. That's nobody calling out. And I do mean nobody has been calling out Edwin De Los Santos. Name some. Name some. For real. Like, name anyone that's been calling out Edwin De Los Santos, the guy that gave Shakur Stevenson a run for the money. Nobody? No, I ain't heard nobody. I ain't heard no fighters, no boxers in that division or even around that division asking for Edwin De Los Santos. So now you have Shakur Stevenson. Just won the title and gonna put it up against Edwin De Los Santos? For real? Salute. 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 And salute to Edwin De Los Santos for even taking the fight as well. Salute, amigo. For real. You know? Because Edwin De Los Santos didn't have to take that fight either. And now you have two fighters getting ready to head it off in the ring, and it's a big fight. I don't care how you rap it or how you try and describe it or downplay it. It's a big fight. It's a big fight. And when they chop this up and put this in the little commercial, people will see like, yo, yeah, it's Davis versus De Los Santos. Oh, that's a big fight. That's a big fight for boxing, you know? And Keyshawn Davis is one of those fighters that, he's gonna garner some attention and he's gonna sell this fight. And then you have Edwin De Los Santos, he has his own nation of people as well, to where he has his own fan base to bring to this. So I see it as a very good fight. I see it as a fight that's going to show growth of both fighters, and it's going to definitely open up the market for VA in boxing, and it's going to be a big, huge night for boxing as well. So Look forward to it. Um, Even look forward to being there on fight night as well. So, you know, and also, my sponsor, Masachi Life, they're gonna be there. So it's gonna be a huge, huge night. June 7th, stay here, stay tuned, stay subscribed to get all the rest. But June 7th, Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. And look forward to more. And definitely shout out to Mill City Boxing, Zab Judah, you know, the four champs. Hey, know what it is. So, like I said, Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. It gets no bigger than that. And, you know, really look forward to seeing this fight, even possibly being there live for this fight with the team as well. So we'll keep you up to date on that. And, with that being said, it is what it is. We got a big fight on the horizon. Amidst all of the other big fights, this right here is a big fight for June that's already set. So, looking forward to seeing that fight. So, anyway, last but not least, I do want to talk about this one last piece, and that is, a lot of other, fights that's being made that a lot of people aren't really covering and talking about. I'm talking about a triple header fight with Devin Haney, with Ryan Garcia, with Teofimo Lopez. That's a big fight, y'all. That's a big fight. And in the horizon, they're already talking about Crawford versus Canelo. So that's a real, real big fight as well. So, hey, it's a lot of big fights in the horizon. And I'm looking forward to all of the fights that's, and they talk about Bivol versus Benavidez. So, I mean, look, hey, I'm ready for all the smoke, all the fights, all the big fights. And, with this fight right here, Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos, the person, like I said, Edwin De Los Santos gave Shakur Stevenson a run for his money. And now you have Keyshawn Davis going to fight the guy that his big brother, had hand issues. He's going to take care of that smoke for him. So we're going to see how that all goes down, if everything goes as planned, or can Edwin De Los Santos upset the train? And or will Keyshawn Davis keep rolling on and doing his thing and winning big, because this fight again will be in Virginia, his hometown again. So he's taking it right back to hometown to defend his title for the first time, and that's Keyshawn Davis up against Edwin De Los Santos. The news was broke on Mill City Boxing with your boy Mills. And Edwin De Los Santos, he spoke out of his own mouth first. I ain't talking about no hearsay. This was from the actual fighter himself. So it gets no bigger than that. And it is what it is, a real big matchup, real big fight for both fighters. And I look for both fighters to fight their best fight, but the person that's going to win on that night is the person that can impose their will on that opponent. That's the person that's going to win. When a fighter can impose their will on another fighter, that fighter's lost. That opponent has lost. So that's the person who's going to win that night. If Keyshawn Davis can impose his will on Edwin De Los Santos early on, then it's an easy win for Keyshawn Davis. But if Edwin De Los Santos can impose his will on Keyshawn Davis, then it'll make for an ugly fight. So we'll see who is ready and who is the man to beat and the man to walk away champion or and still. So it's a big, big fight, big matchup. I look forward to the fight. I think you can't get no better than this for boxing. For real. Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. Man, it's like a story wrote you know, in the universe or something. Come on now. For real. You know, Edwin De Los Santos, he fought Shakur Stevenson. Shakur Stevenson's hands was, messed up or whatever. And Shakur Stevenson still pulled it out and won. But now you have Keyshawn Davis, someone that Shakur Stevenson and Bud Crawford actually mentored, and Bomac is the trainer. So, hey, it's just a serious situation for Edwin. And Edwin and his team just have to go in there with a good game plan and they can weather the storm. But if they don't, yeah, it's going to be on that type time. So, hey, what y'all think about it? What you think about it? This fight between Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. Do you think it's a good fight? Do you think it's a good matchup? Huh? I want to know. Yeah, me personally, I just want to know what you think. I dare you to tell me in the comments what you think about Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos. Is it a good fight? Is it a super fight? Is it good for business? Is it good for boxing? Is you gonna watch it? Is you gonna get it on pay-per-view? Or you gonna go and pull up in VA Live? I wanna know. I wanna know. I wanna know. I wanna know. I wanna know right now. So hey, let's talk. Let's talk. Comment. Let me know. Hit me in the chat. Whatever. Whatever's clever. I got like 3 more minutes. So, anybody that wanna hop in, message me, super chat, whatever, hey, we can get it in. But if not, hey, it is what it is as well. I will say this much though, boxing is great, again, where it needs to be. And I think with all the fights that we have on the horizon, we can look for boxing to be even more exciting with all the fights that are unfolding on a weekly basis now. So we got this Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos, June the 7th, going down in Virginia, his hometown again. So that's going to be a wonderful thing for boxing. That's going to be huge. And I look forward to it, Like I was telling you, I really look forward to it. Both styles, styles make fights. So with these two styles, you got a more explosive style, and then you have more elusive type style. And I think, both clashing together is going to make for a very interesting fight. I look forward to Keyshawn Davis versus Edwin De Los Santos, June 7th, going down in VA once again. He going back to his hometown to defend his title for the first time. And hey, no better place to do it, I guess, than do it in your hometown where you had great success at before. So look forward to it. Look forward to it. And anyway, that's all I guess I got for y'all. Like I said, go to the website, primetimetalktv.com. Check out our sponsors and check out our main sponsor right now, Masachi. New clothing line, streetwear, some teddy bears made out of roses, complete roses with some shades on like me. Cool, laid back. So Anyway, check it out. Up there on primetimetalktv.com, or you can go to Masachi.life. Anyway, with that being said, that's all I got for this video. You already know the routine. When you leave my house, hit that like button, hit the subscribe button, smash the bell icon so you can be notified the next time I drop these next latest and greatest videos here on Primetime Talk TV. And I'm on social media everywhere. And definitely go to the website, primetimetalktv.com. All right, y'all. Peace, love, I'm out. Till next time.